So today, me and Jared are going to talk about interventions for cervicogenic dizziness. Alright, so for our objectives, students will learn impairments/problems that correspond with cervicogenic dizziness. Students will also learn interventions for each impairment depending on the phase of healing they're in. So a quick recap of cervicogenic dizziness. It is typically called vertigo, caused by top muscular tendons in the suboccipital or cervical region.
All right, so the first problem that we're going to address is decreased cervical range of motion. So for this first one, we're going to do a levator scapulae stretch. So this is a stretch that targets the levator scapulae, which is a muscle that aids in cervical flexion and side bending. So this stretch will just help decrease tension in the upper back and neck and help to restore cervical range of motion. So I'm gonna have you sit in this chair right here for me. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna instructor on this. So for this, what you're gonna do is rotate to the left and do chin tuck right there. And then you're gonna reach over the same side arm, grab the back of your head, or you'll be with your left arm, right here, yep. Then you're gonna pull down gently. You should feel a stretch back here, this side. Feel that stretch right there?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's the levator scapulae stretch right there. All right, so next, that's for the maximum protection phase as well. So next we'll move to the moderate protection phase. So right here, this is an active assist range of motion for cervical rotation. So for this, we're gonna use this strap right here. Put it behind your head. So I'm gonna have you grab, like that. So you're gonna pull with your, to the side you're going towards and try to rotate your head to the same side. Yep. Good, just like that. So this right here helps to regain motor control, and also we're progressing towards active range of motion. So there you go, a couple each side. There you go. All right, so now for the minimum protection phase, we're going to do an exercise called the cervical clock. So this exercise simply is, you're just going to imagine like a clock on the wall. So first you're going to flex forward 12 degrees, then you're going to go to about 130 at a kind of a diagonal. There you go. Then you're going to go to 3, side bend to the right. Then you're going to go to about 430 right here, which is extension, and side bending to the right. Then you're going to go back to 6, which is extension. Then you're going to go back about 730 and diagonal back to the left. So we're doing adding diagonals to this as well, just to try to make it more functional. Just for everyday functional movements, like if you're driving your car, you got to look to your mirror or look behind you, to see what's in traffic. So yeah, the cervical clock right there. And this is active range of motion exercise. And also, we have some pictures of these exercises right here as well.
Alright, so our second problem is going to be decreased strength and endurance in the cervicocranial flexion muscles. As you know, the cranial flexion muscles are the capitis muscles and all those good stuff. So for the max protection phase, we're going to do some standing isometric cervical rotation, side bending, flexion, and extension with ball. Usually we would use a smaller ball to implement this exercise, but we can't find it. So like I said, this is not the ideal ball that we use. It's going to kind of stop the range of motion when we're doing it, but we're working with what we have right now. So first we're going to try to do ask him to tilt his head back towards the ball. So the ball is applying kind of like a slight resistance. This is the max phase. You don't want to overdo it. So that's why isometric exercise is good for this intervention, because it won't overstretch or overwork the muscle that's being done, so you won't re-injure the site. So you can do for extension. Can you turn to the side for me? You can do some side bending. He's just going to press his head into the ball, and that's going to cause that isometric contraction of the muscle, where it's not lengthening, it's not changing the length of his muscle. Then you can go again, turn to the front, do a little flexion. And this exercise right here just is a fun fact. When he's doing it, you want to make sure his posture is good and aligned properly. So you relax. And then the other side, bend it. Side. Make sure we're not using too much of the shoulders. You just want to isolate those muscles in the neck. Good job. Good job. Okay. So that will be for the max protection phase for increasing the strength and endurance for the cranial flexion muscles. The next one we would do is resisted cranial flexion exercise with the TheraBand. We've seen this a couple times. So what you want to do, make sure the tire is clean too. You don't want your patients to be breaking out and stuff. So you're going to apply that to the forehead. The TheraBand is probably the best outlet to do. You can do other stuff like a gait belt if you don't have a TheraBand on hand, but this will apply that resistance. So I'm going to ask my patient, can you kind of tuck your chin in, like bring your chin in? While you're pulling back, he's going to try to go forward. That's going to strengthen those muscles. Kind of tilt it in. Yep. There you go. All right. We'll do that for a couple sets, probably like 3 out of 10. That should strengthen it. All right. So that will be for the moderate phase. The next exercise, we try to make it functional. So this one is called a suitcase walk with neck rotation. Depending on the patient, you see how tolerable the weights are. I'm gonna give this to him. Thank you. So what you're gonna do is have him hold the weights to his side and walk the line, but as he's walking, you're gonna rotate to the left and the right. So this will also help build endurance and posture, because in order to keep your posture straight, your muscles in your neck have to have enough endurance to hold that position while you're walking. So there you go. Get to the left. Get to the right. So you probably wonder, how could this be a functional exercise? So just think about going to Walmart. You got your little mini buggy, you know, the basket in your hand. You're trying to see, do you want chicken or do you want beef? And they're on opposite sides of the aisle. So you're like, chicken, no, beef, like that. So you're able to observe both sides while adding that weight to it. That's going to add stability. Then those are some pictures of what you just did. If you're going to implement that first exercise, I would give the ball around that size like that.
All right, for the third impairment, we're gonna be addressing decreased balance and poor postural control. So for this first exercise, I'm gonna have you come over here and sit on this exercise ball for me. All right, so this is just seated balance on the exercise ball. So here you're just looking at their posture, making sure that they don't have a forward head posture or slouched shoulders. And if they do, you can kind of correct them. You can kind of, tell them to pull back a little bit, but you also don't want them to overcorrect and, puff their chest out too far. So also you can add stuff to this, as you progress. You can narrow the base of support. You can add in some scapular retractions or some other stuff for scapular stabilization back here. You can add some balance stuff to this. You can have them close their eyes, add some dynamic balance and stuff. But this is a good one for the maximum protection phase. Just work on that posture and keeping a neutral spine and keeping kind of the head stacked over the neck right there. Good. All right. Appreciate it. So now for the moderate phase, I'm gonna have Ev stand on this foam pad right here. And so you're probably gonna want to use a gait belt whenever you do this with your patient, especially if they have cervical vertigo. So I'm gonna have her do standing marches right here in place. Good. So this targets her posture, as stability, as well as just her overall balance. And this is something else you can progress. You can add some dynamic balance. You can have her close your eyes and do it. Also on the foam pad. Back up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You're good. Also, you can do different things on the foam pad. You can do different balance stuff like tandem stance, stagger stance, and all that. And also, you can add weighted resistance. You can add ankle weights as she does this too to kind of help on her overall endurance. Good. All right, you good right there. All right, for the last one, for the minimum protection phase, we're going to work on ascending and descending stairs with rotation or dynamic balance. So this exercise just causes the spine to remain, in neutral as we do it. And this also just implements a functional task. All right, so you're gonna have the patient just simply walk up the stairs. You want to stay behind her, make sure she's safe. You definitely want to use a gait belt for this. So we're gonna imagine having a gait belt. So go ahead. So first, we're just gonna go up the stairs, make sure her posture's good. She's keeping that neutral spine. Good. All right, turn around and come back down. Good. Then when she's coming down, you want to stay in front of her. Make sure you keep her patient safe. Also want to make sure you don't trip. All right, good. Yeah, I got you. All right, so second time going up, we're gonna just add a cervical rotation as we do it. This is a functional task. Say if the patient, lives in an apartment complex and they have to go upstairs, or if they have stairs at the house, and you're going upstairs, somebody calls your name, you got to turn and look without falling back down the stairs, So we'll go ahead and do that now. Have you go upstairs. Yeah, rotate to the left, back to the right. This also works on the patient's proprioception as well. Another way, like I said, that you can change that up is add a little dynamic balance, add some disturbances as she goes up and down. But that's it.
And here's our references. So if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, what kind of modalities and stuff would y'all use, like, just along with these exercises?
Well, you can definitely use like E-stim and dry needling and stuff for pain modulation, especially early on. Also, it'd be a good idea to use like a moist heat pack. I know on the first one I didn't really hit on it, but soft tissue manipulations are really good for this. So you can use your moist heat pack, kind of get the blood flowing and everything, and then do your soft tissue. So, good question.
So when they have like dizzy spells or anything like that, how would you navigate doing the exercises around those?
That's an important thing to know as a physical therapist. So since they get dizzy and doing exercise can kind of increase the dizziness, you have to make sure you check on them like, hey, you good? You need a break? And then also, just like the marching we did in the moderate stage, you can also change that to the seating if they're getting too dizzy. So it's all about the different modifications you can make in the exercises.
What are the general outcomes, and can you expect to see a full recovery?
Generally, they have pretty good outcomes, and I've read that at about week 1 to 2 that you can start to see some of the symptoms alleviate, but it doesn't always resolve, and it's kind of case dependent, really.
And for this specific condition, we're not treating the problem. We're not treating the condition. We are treating the condition they have, like the decreased balance. So they're not going to just change overnight and say, oh, I don't have this, or you're helping them maintain that condition versus I'm gonna get better off of just doing physical therapy. So that's why it's important. You gotta let your patient know, like, this is not just gonna make your cervical dizziness go away. This is gonna help you maintain and increase your quality of life while at.
I can't remember which.
I like that. You get 100, that's off they get 100, that's off of that.
Perfect.
But you stated something isometric exercises preventing further injury. How so? Like,
So basically, for isometric exercises, that's why they're in the moderate phase, because when you contract, you're either elongating or shortening. So once you get to that point where it's not doing neither, you're kind of just standing there. So if you're not overstretching it or overworking it concentrically, it's like an in-between. So it's less likely to be injured while doing these exercises. Any more questions? Thank you.